forcément un moyen de mettre fin à tout ça. Oh my God!
This is Night Swim.
Bonjour, ça va?
Can we traumatize a bunch of more kids, you know?
I was sent to the script and I read it. I can't believe I hadn't seen this movie. And when you go do horror films, I like it when they have something unique to offer. And this did. It had a unique evil source.
You know what the traumatizing experience was? It was probably watching Jaws when I was like 10 years old, and then being in the pool at night and knowing that the water's not safe and anything could be beneath you. And I think it was really just trying to tap into that childhood feeling. And can we capture that as an adult? And can we traumatize a bunch of more kids, you know?
On horror, I'd never done it before. I'm more like a drama person. I did think it was a good idea to try something I hadn't done before, and a genre that a lot of people seem to enjoy.
What do people tell you in the streets? Because both of you have been in many movies. Is there, for each of you, a character that people talk to you about, or a movie, or?
You can tell who's watched what from about a mile away.
Really?
Yeah, I know Lodge 49 because it's usually people from about 42 up into their 70s. Usually the man is wearing some kind of Hawaiian shirt and like explorer pants, and they love Lodge 49. Black Mirror is usually somebody wearing some kind of like horror t-shirt. They've got like black hair and piercings, and they're into the comic book world. And then for the Marvel stuff, it's more known. But there's certain people that like subcategories where you're like, I know where you know me from. Like, you just know that that's the fan of that thing, and you're like, okay, yeah.
I'm really lucky. Nobody recognizes me at all. No, very rarely, yeah. And I kind of like that, you know.
What's your first horror movie memory? Or the one that maybe terrified you when you were younger?
There's a lot of great scary movies. Pet Sematary was a little terrifying. Arachnophobia was a scary movie.
Yeah.
The Omen was a great one. The Poltergeist, The Shining, and Suspiria, and Evil Dead 2. Horror is a very fun genre to be a part of when it's done well. When it's done poorly, then it's really not fun. This was great because it set a higher bar for itself than just a kind of a, sit at home and watch a horror movie and be scared with your buddies or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. So
remember the movie Seven with David Fincher? There was one of those scenes, the guy who had sex with the... Oh my God, I'll never forget it. Oh my God. But I think my pupils were dilated for like a week. I was so traumatized.
What do we remember about the pool? What urban legends do we remember? What games do we remember, like Marco Polo? Reaching into the drain flap and pulling out the hair, or finding like the dead frog in there, or the stories you'd hear about getting caught in the drain, and your hair getting caught and getting held underwater and drowned. I remember hearing these awful stories and these things we were afraid of, like don't swim after eating, don't run around the pool. So it's just trying to tap into our kind of memory of that space, and then be like, well, how do we exploit each of those memories and turn it into these iconic, memorable set pieces and scares?
There was no training though. Luckily I could swim. There was a lot of it I could do myself.
How do you react when you see Kate Winslet can hold her breath for 7 minutes? It's pretty insane.
And I wonder, is she really holding her breath for 7 minutes? I mean, how do we know? But I do like watching free divers and documentaries, and I did watch a little bit of that.
How is it doing a movie for Blumhouse and Atomic Monster? Are they guidelines, or do Jason Blum and James Wan come on the set or talk about the script with you?
They're very filmmaker focused. They're there to support you. I never felt like I couldn't make the movie I wanted to make. I mean, James Wan, he gets very involved, but it's always in a collaborative way. He's never trying to take the movie from you. He's never trying to direct for you. He's never trying to micromanage, but he gets so excited. And he's has this boyish passion where he's like, oh, what if we drop the camera down here and then we don't even have to cut. Like, we could bring over here and get the scare and all in one thing. We get wonder. And he just gets so passionate. I would be such a fool to not learn from him, to not collaborate with him. He added so much to the movie, and he's a master of the modern horror genre. And I feel like I learned so much from working with him.
Did Kurt Russell came to set to see his son since you were in California?
He didn't, but his influence definitely is in the film, because Kurt's a great baseball player. And Wyatt grew up kind of playing baseball under his dad. And when the baseball practice scene is there, I feel like Wyatt was channeling his dad as a baseball coach. So I feel like Kurt's kind of baseball aura like lived on in the movie for sure.
What's the last horror movie that really struck you?
I saw Talk to Me at the end of the summer, and I thought Talk to Me was fantastic and so disturbing and visceral. But we've had so many great ones in the past. You know, Barbarian and Smile and Megan, and we're in a great time for horror. We really are. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Au revoir.